Hey everybody, GravyTrain here, with another episode of GravyTraining. So today, I say today, I've done a couple of videos already today, but this time we're going to be going over another hero spotlight, number 30. We're going to cover Hansuke in a little more detail, and then Ferno, Rocky, and Sir William. I would do Hansuke on his own, but I don't wanna. To quote TJ Thine or whatever his name is from Deadpool. No, I would do it, but I'm kind of trying to wrap these up pretty quickly, and he will feature pretty heavily in some of the teams that are coming up. So I wanted to get him in here and kind of get this all taken care of. So without the cliched further ado, here we are. So, I believe he is a gold. Yes, there he is. So there is Hansuke. Now, Hansuke does have an ultimate skin. You can get it in the Aether shop, for 65,000 Ether. And it's well worth it. It's not the first skin to get, but it's worth it. Basically, it gives him the first attack, that incoming attack he'll parry, and it makes him immune to being frozen, which is the big way that Hansuke gets screwed over. So it's pretty nice. I would pick that up if at all possible. You can ruin him. You can ruin him pretty much anyway, and he's going to be good. He is a good hero. At least an A. Yeah, I think he's an A. Has the potential to be higher, but right now just an A. So I give him a shield piercing rune. He is great whether or not he's doing basic attacks or specials. So I give him a shield piercing and a tank rune. So he's got some attack, some defense. He has an attack, Unbreakable Heart. So that's more attack. Got an honor bound rune. The nice thing about Hansuke is that he's honor bound, so you can use these really awesome honor bound runes. So for defense and attack. And then a warrior rune for a chance for an extra basic attack. So all in all, his stats are pretty balanced. Doesn't take much defense to give him a good defense. So, yeah. 13,000, 14,000 attack. Not bad. That's all. And shield piercing. And taunt. So, he is an honor-bound undead warrior. He does have an epic, which, yeah, is okay. 30% more max health, which is garbage. 20% attack, 10% crit chance. This goes above and beyond his base, or even the cap. And a 30% chance to deal 3x damage and buff team defense. That's good. He has Bushido, which all honor-bound heroes do. And he takes less damage from AoE attacks, and buffs applied to this hero last an additional round. So let's take a quick chat about that. So that taunt rune that was on there, if it doesn't get purged, lasts 2 rounds. Guardian rune, if he had a guardian rune, lasts 4 rounds. All of those things, basically all buffs on him last 1 turn longer. So that's pretty nice. He's also got the Undead, Soulless Scourge. He's immune to poison, venom, wound, disease. And he lifesteals 25% of all damage dealt. Master of Combat. He is an armored hero that cannot miss nor be dodged. So he's got the perfect striking that like dwarves have. Relentless Horde. Allied undead attack a random enemy when they get a killing blow once per round. Mostly, that tends to be just him. But it can be others. Kenjutsu 3 has a 25% chance to parry and revenge attack after any single target attack. So, effectively, this is the same as dodging, except it's maxed straight out of the gate, and it does a revenge attack. And it gets by dwarves because dwarves can't dodge dwarves, but you can parry them. So that is really nice, and skill will affect the chance for this to go off. Then we've got Undead Avenger. When an ally is killed, this hero gains plus attack and will revenge attack the enemy who made the killing blow. 2 attacks if the ally killed was undead. So, yeah, that's pretty good. And finally, Frozen Focus, and that comes from the skin. He's freeze immune and a guaranteed chance to parry the first attack dealt to him in the dungeon. Yeah, not bad. We went over his epic. His first ability is Lijitsu Strike, or Ijitsu. I-A-I-Jitsu. Ijitsu Strike. It's an armor-piercing, melee physical attack for 3,600 base damage that wounds and will purge taunt if it's active. So this is a great way. You put him as one of the first heroes to go, and he will clear that taunt for you. And that's just a guarantee. If the target's taunting, they're not anymore. And that's good damage. Next attack is Blade Fury. So that's 3 melee physical attacks for 1,300 base damage, 20% chance of an extra attack, obviously modified by extra attack runes and skill. And crits have a 50% chance to wound, and wound means no healing, damage over time. Finally, Wrath of the Fallen buffs team's attack 94%, and melee physical attack an enemy for 3288 base damage. Targets killed, all enemies are feared. That's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, Hansuke he's great. He's very durable. He can definitely tank. For a warrior especially, like, he can parry tank really well. He just, and the fact that he automatically life steals 25%, and he hits hard. Yeah, he's just a really good hero. Remember that with the Honorbound synergy, you've got Jin on your team. You've got Hansuke on your team. Jin gives all heroes 25%, if you have Jin's epic, gives all heroes 25% damage reduction. Twice that for Honorbound heroes. So he gets 50% damage reduction as long as Jin's in your team. That's pretty darn good for a hero that's already tough and can parry and usually has a good defense. Keep that in mind. That is something you are going to want to use. Next is Ferno. And I do not have Ferno runed. He's a caster dragon. Since there's no other dragons, he might as well just be a caster. People call him Beer Gut or other stuff because, well, it's a little obvious. Yeah. His base stats, not terrible, not great. Crit chance is decent. I'd like this is unruined, so. He has Fireborn, so he is burn immune. He heals instead of taking damage from fire attacks, and deals extra damage to burning enemies. So that's not bad. It's not bad at all. Next, Reckless Pyromania. Allies damaging attacks on burning targets have a chance to spread the burn to another random enemy. So that's good. You hit burn on somebody, and it's got a chance to move to more than one from there. He's flying, so he takes less damage from melee attacks, but more damage from elves. He's mystical, boosted damage versus tanks and slow targets. Updraft. Flying allies gain 1 energy at the end of each round, plus 1 energy at the end of each round. That's pretty good. That's a lot of, it was 2x energy regen. That's nice. Aerial superiority. All non-flying heroes have significantly reduced attack until Ferno's first turn or the end of the first round. Ignores immunities to debuff. It didn't used to say that. That is actually a fairly recent thing. At least I think it is. I could be missing it. I don't know. Don't listen to me. So what that means is that instead of like adding a damage resistance buff to his team, he puts a debuff on the enemy team that makes it so that if they're not flying heroes, they do less damage. Their attack is lower. So, if you remember back when we were talking about Jin's Silence and cleansing Jin's Silence, which just got tweaked a bit today with the nerf of the minor nerf of Dagrand, is that you can only cleanse one thing at a time. With heroes like Dagrand or Craw, you can only block one thing at a time. This, if you're using him with Jin, is another debuff that's being applied early on. Same thing as if you're using Malice, so you can actually screw up the enemy's chances to cleanse the appropriate thing, the thing they want, they're hoping they cleanse. So, okay, so he does not have an epic. His base damage, or base Spitfire, is ranged physical spirit attack for 1381 base damage, and a chance to add Wildfire Burn on crit. So Wildfire is another type of burning, that so you can have burning and Wildfire burning, and it will purge buffs every turn. It'll purge a buff. Either a buff or all buffs. I think it's a buff. So that's kind of his advantage, is that he gets 2 sets. The other thing about Ferno, and I didn't mention this, but typically a green hero would have not a red slot here, they would have a blue slot here. But to make him more along the lines of a fire-breathing type attack hero, he has a red slot here. So just a little heads up about that. So Dive Bomb is a melee physical bite attack for 2441 base damage. A chance to add a Wildfire Burn. All other flying allies then attack a random enemy. So Agnon, if he's not in stone form, or Iris, or like I said, there's about a dozen flying heroes. They'll attack a random enemy. That's not bad. And finally, Choking Smoke. It's a ranged attack on all enemies, so its area of effect for 2100 base damage, reducing enemy attack by 59% and their chance to dodge by 63%. So, good, and then meh. And that is Ferno. Ferno is good as kind of like, he's a pretty solid damage dealer. Good to use against heroes that rely on buffs, like, say, Barbarians, or like even Iris. You hit Iris with Hellfire, and she's pretty much done for. So yeah. Then, next, in a world where we have talking mushrooms. So, Rocky is a fast plant rogue. So he will synergize with Lily. He will synergize with Jumbo. He's really not a great hero. I guess at one point he was, and he just kind of kept getting nerfed, and he just doesn't do the damage, doesn't have the utility. So, his abilities, his base stats are meh. He's magical, takes less damage from non-physical attacks. Has Piercing Yelp. When hit, there is a small chance to lower the attacker's defense. Not all that awesome. Plant Growth is all that awesome. So increase max health and attack at the end of each round, stacks up to 8 times, resets each encounter, and can't be copied or stolen. That's all plants. So him or Lily or Jumbo, or if Jumbo turns ogres into plants, all of them have that ability at the end of the round. So that's Plant Growth. Nature's Fury is increased crit by 25% for all nature allies, so they're going to crit a lot. Fungus Among Us. Plants gain a chance to poison on basic attack per stack of growth. Not all that awesome. And he's fast, he attacks first. He does not have an epic. His first ability is pretty much the one that if you're going to use him, it's why you're using him. So it's Spore Cloud. Nature allies gain a second action, haste. Rocky and allies gain 44% dodge chance for 1 round. Grows allied plants. So it's a real easy, quick way to grow, and you get haste. If your heroes are all green, then they're all going to get hasted. If they're not, they're not. Sonic Screech, an ear piercing. And I think that doesn't mean like getting your ears pierced. Ranged spirit attack that hits all enemies for 828 base damage. That's why he sucks. And silences the target. That's okay-ish. Starts powered, so he can do that right away. Although he would more than likely do Spore Cloud, so meh. Finally, Poison Rampage is a melee physical attack on target and random 2 enemies, or in 2 random enemies. Getting everything all mixed up. 1500 base damage and a chance to poison. If only poison was worth the crap. Damage is so little, it's kind of like meh. And that's it. That's Rocky. So, yeah, he's kind of like, I think I got him down as a C or a D. Not very good. Last, and maybe least, I think he's a silver. Nope, he is a bronze. In a world where Sir William is just a tank. So I've only got runes on him once again because I'm using them for storage. I have too many runes in my inventory, so I had to equip some. His stats, base stats, are 1081, blah, blah. Yeah, not great. Defense, not great. Skill, health, whatever. So, you're almost never going to end up using him. He's kind of lame. He's armored, takes less damage from physical attacks. Courageous Knight. Can't be feared, and has a chance to jump in front of a single target attack that would be a killing blow against an ally. That's not terrible. Tit for tat. An Aegis shield will be generated when damaged. Any crit on this hero will cause him to crit on his next action, even if elementally disadvantaged. I'm pretty sure Nitpick has the same ability. Then, Protector of the Realm takes less damage from beast, demon, monster, and undead enemies, and deals 2x damage to those enemy types. 2x of next to nothing. Finally, Water Guard increases defense by 20% for all water allies. That can be okay if you have, like, say, Valken or some hero like that on your team. Or Nitpick, for that matter. He has no epic. So his basic attack's basically for 1100 damage. His first special is Bring It On. Taunts. Buffs for 63%, buffs defense for 63%, and will make a revenge attack after being hit by any attack. So, yeah. An easy special 1 taunt. S2 is a Guarding Strike, which is a melee physical attack on target enemy for 1622 base damage, and buffs allies, all allies' defense by 83%. I mean, you could make use of him. Not the worst abilities ever, but there's generally better, like, say, Grognog. Finally, Last Stand. It's a melee physical attack for 2162 base damage with splash damage that adds Unbreakable Heart to all allies that lasts for 3 turns. So that's not bad. For PvE, this guy is really good. You take him to a boss battle or something like that, and that is pretty useful. It's got a cooldown time of 5 turns, however, so kind of And that is it. That's our batch of heroes for this one. Thanks for watching. Check out the Discord in the description. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit the bell, hit all those things that every single YouTube channel asks you to do. I appreciate it. Yeah, thanks for coming out. And, well, have a great day. See ya.